This fourth part of the presentation on therapy definition in the Stroke Rehab App looks in more detail at the group of communication data object classes. These data object classes could be used to support the establishment of communication links between stroke survivors, carers, therapists, specialists, and research workers, and help counter the tyranny of distance that so often disadvantages those living in regional and rural communities. This diagram identifies the main classes of data objects that would need to be created and maintained in the central database to facilitate the establishment of forums, discussion groups, or special interest groups, which could be related to specific therapies or to stroke recovery in general. These data object classes could support the exchange of information between stroke survivors, between carers of stroke survivors, between stroke survivors, carers and therapists, and between therapists, specialists and research workers. Now, there are any number of free generic software products that can manage forums. But these products are often what could be described as over-featured and therefore more difficult to use than is really necessary. So what is described here is a basic design that could eventually be integrated into the Stroke Rehab App and provide part of the total community-based stroke recovery and rehabilitation solution. These forms of online communication could be introduced to supplement existing more generalised forums that have been set up by the National Stroke Foundation and become an important tool for eliminating distance barriers and for educating stroke survivors, carers and therapists throughout Australia about stroke-related issues. Online forums provide a way of establishing and maintaining information flows between people who share a common interest. So an online forum may be established to serve the information needs of a target audience in relation to a clearly defined forum scope and purpose. The scope of a forum may be defined on one or more of a number of dimensions, such as medical discipline, a therapy, a disability, or a community. And the purpose of a forum may be to facilitate exchange of stroke recovery stories, provide professional advice, or the education of medical professionals about stroke recovery and rehabilitation. So we need to define forum data objects to represent online conversations between groups of people with a common interest, otherwise known as a target audience. Each forum must have a clearly defined scope and purpose. In fact, that scope may be defined by a particular therapy program or stroke-related disability. A forum may be classified as a discussion group, or a special interest group. Then we need to define forum membership data objects to represent the target audience of the forum in terms of people who are members of that forum. To represent the roles these people play in the forum, such as administrator, moderator, expert, or member. And a person may play many different roles in many different forums. And a person may be nominated to play specific roles. There is also a need to decide whether forum membership is to be determined by membership applications by individuals or stroke-related physical, emotional or communication disabilities, or therapy programs that have been prescribed, or medical specialties. Now, members of a particular forum may raise a number of topics that are within the defined scope of the forum and are consistent with the purpose of that forum. To support this need, we have to define forum topic data objects to represent the topics that forum members wish to discuss, which may be stroke survivor or carer stories, questions that need to be answered, issues of concern that need to be addressed, or distributions of educational or training material. Topics may be rejected by the forum moderator if they are not considered to be consistent with the scope or purpose of the forum. Topics may be redirected to another forum if they are considered to be more consistent with the scope or purpose of the other forum. And we need topic contribution data objects to represent the contributions that particular forum members can make to a specific forum topic, such as an expert, or as a teacher, or as a student. Now, members of a particular forum may contribute items to specific forum topics. These items may be questions, answers to questions, stroke survivor stories, tips on how to overcome specific disabilities, information about disability aids, or even educational and training materials. To support this need, we need to define topic item data objects, which represent the contributions of individual forum members to a specific forum topic. These items may contain text, audio clips, photographs, video clips, or links to websites and web pages. And we need to define item contribution data objects, which represent the contributions that a particular forum member made to a specific topic item, such as author or responder or referrer. And topic item relationship data objects, which represent the relationships that might exist between a pair of topic items. such as an answer to a question or a comment on a previous item. We can summarise the last part of this presentation by recalling that the Stroke Rehab App can facilitate the establishment of forums, discussion groups, or special interest groups, which could be related to specific therapies or to stroke recovery in general. It can support information sharing and exchange between stroke survivors, carers of stroke survivors, carers and therapists, and therapists, specialists and research workers. It can remove distance and remoteness barriers that currently inhibit the recovery of stroke survivors living in regional and rural areas. It can provide a mechanism for the distribution of ongoing training programs for therapists and medical professionals working in the field of stroke recovery and rehabilitation.